Shut him down.
You're not shutting me down, Kang. I'm here to stay.
I underestimated you.
One chance in life to do whatever you're gonna do, to lay your foundation, to make whatever mark you're gonna make, whatever legacy you're gonna leave your legacy.
People do not understand that the Old Testament is written in code. I'm talking about actual code as in, high-level physics. Stories about reflections, light waves, atomic weights, dates, what else? Vibrations, mathematical codes that are what that thing up in the sky creates. You know, I don't want to offend anybody's religious beliefs. I still believe in Jesus Christ. It doesn't change my mind one bit. But there's a lot of science involved in that book. But it's a good moralistic book. It does represent the Son of God, my Savior, Jesus Christ. Aside from that, it's a great moralistic book. You know, but it's encoded messages.
It's bigger than you think. There's more code in that book than you think there is. It's all showing you something very real, very hardcore, very serious about the way everything works as a whole.
So, people that are just tuning in are saying, I don't know, this seems a little out there. Well, it would be if you're coming into advanced trigonometry from 6th grade. It wouldn't make any sense to you. Those of you that have hung around understand it. But for somebody that's just looking at this now, this is going to make absolutely no sense. Because you have to be eased into this kind of knowledge. You can't just be thrown into it because it'll bust your head wide open. Once you see it, it's very, very clear that there's really something going on. And it's not hidden, that's the thing. It's right in front of your face for you to find out the truth, but nobody wants to know the truth. A very few want to know. A very few want to know. So what do? They go and make movies like The Wizard of Oz. And everybody goes, ooh, that was a good movie. That's a good children's movie. That ain't a good children's movie. That's a motherfucking occultic movie if there ever was one. Star Wars is another one. To them, it's entertainment because that's all they're ever going to know. Because that's all they ever want to know. They don't want to dig. All they want to know is, did the Chicago Bears win or did the Bulls win? What kind of mentality is that?
If you really want to know about something and you study the origin of it, you get to the bottom of it, get to the roots, you start seeing things that you didn't recognize before. Like, oh, wow, this is kind of deep, son. This is some other shit. It's not what you thought it was.
They were called the Phoenicians, and by the time they founded Carthage, they had already made their mark on world history. It's no accident, for instance, that words like phone and phonetics sound a lot like the word Phoenician. That's because the Phoenicians were one of the first to develop the spoken word into an actual written language. In fact, they were among the first to form sounds into written characters, creating an alphabet. Remnants of the Phoenician alphabet have survived even today in the language of one of the smallest countries in the world, the island of Malta. Not a bad shelf life for a language over 3,000 years old. But just who were these Phoenicians? The Bible refers to them as the Canaanites.
And this is my all-time favorite. I just love how they take Jesus and they crucify him with 3 fingers out. Isn't that real nice of them? I mean, they couldn't stop with the story where when they were humiliating him of putting a purple robe on him. No, they have to go and make it with the 3 fingers showing. You see, isn't it how wonderful this is? Now, why are you seeing all of this stuff in the Christian church? Because there's no such thing. It's Masonic. The Masons build every church, every temple, every mosque on the planet. All of them shitty-ass songs resonate at a certain frequency within the building that they're built because they create things and they bring things up and they make things happen within a certain space. A lot of science involved in there, more than you would know.
השמיים מספרים כבוד אל, ומעשה ידם מדיד הרקיע.
It's really easy once you start going down these paths of seeking out where things went wrong, trying to understand what happened to us. It's real easy to get caught up in different areas, because that's what we do as people. I mean, notice anything, let's say you get really into anything, no matter what it is, whatever your interest is, you're going to see that all over the place, right? Instead of understanding and taking the belief systems out of it, and walking that middle path, which is the path that Christ showed us to walk. If anybody cares to pay attention to that. So many people don't. You're just so stuck on left and right, which is the whole purpose of the Old Testament and New Testament anyway. It's bigger than you think. There's more code in that book than you think there is. It's all showing you something very real, very hardcore, very serious about the way everything works as a whole. And once you start to see it very clearly. But walking that middle path, you start to realize that and see very easily how everything is so messed up by these. The whole world is messed up by these, you see, and we have a pupil in the middle, right? Because we're the student, but the I is the student. Learning. But you have nothing if you don't have the light within yourself to interpret what you see on the outside. You're always going to be stuck on the black and white. See, we were broken a long time ago. That broken bell, that broken Liberty Bell. There has indeed been a war in heaven, and therefore a war on us. A war within us, a war on the outside of us. But we don't make peace anywhere in the world until we have that peace within us. That's why it's the goal, it needs to be the goal of all of us, to have that peace within you, to understand that you're never going to find that outside of yourself. You can look and look and look and you won't. And you won't and you won't. That's why waking up is the scariest thing to do, because you have to go inside of yourself and see how dark it really is in there. It's nothing but darkness. That is what the sunglasses represent. When you see that, call it the Illuminati, call it what you will, but it's a symbolism that they can see and you can't. And so they wear the sunglasses to show you they're not looking out to the outward light, they're looking inside. They're looking inside to see the dark side of the moon, where they control everything by. But see, you're wrong to always think that everything is black and white. Only those that wish to control you want you to see everything as black and white. Black and white is being on one side or the other. That's being black or white. Looking at the flip of the poles and how that affects us is the dark and the light. The dark and the light always being on the side of religion or science. Religion or science. I'm not saying that the path goes down the middle, the path of faith, which is something that I believe in fully and completely and totally and entirely. Because me, myself, I do remember a time before this world, and I know that there's definitely going to be a time after this world. That's just something I know with all my heart and all my soul. that I know that we've been divided as humanity, that we are humankind, that we were divided as man and woman, and it was never supposed to be that way. That we've been fractalized just like the world's been fractalized. You know? Old heaven and earth, there's to be a new heaven and a new earth. Why, do you think that has something to do with your eyes? No way. Something very real that's going to happen. Something very real that's going to happen. And to understand that is to understand what has happened, you know? You can't understand any of that if you're still on that black and white path of seeing things as purely good and purely evil. Any with spirit know how to govern themselves, know how to govern from that middle path. You know? Like I've said in so many of my past videos, and I'll keep saying, it's about that we don't need anybody once we're at that point to teach us law. Why? Because we have that inside of us. Watch a little child, you know, that hasn't been screwed up already by somebody that was screwed up before them, because that's all it is. You know, a world that doesn't know how to love, doesn't know how to love, because if we know how to love, we're giving that child that one thing that they need, and therefore they will always govern by it. I screw up all day long, we mess up all the time, doesn't mean we turn back around and try to make things right. Why do I follow Jesus Christ? Because Jesus Christ did the right thing. He came here to help set us free. He came here as a servant. Okay? He came here as a servant to help serve the people, knowing that this world is under control by something that we don't understand or haven't understood. Absolutely. There's been a demonic and evil presence. You don't look back through history and look what's happened with Hitler. You don't look down at what happened with Aztec Empire. You don't look at these things and think that, oh, that's good God right there, doing the right thing for people. Frick no. Of course, there's been massive genocide, massive war, massive evil on a massive scale. But what I'm against right now, here especially, is the nonsense. It's like people are fighting each other. People are fighting the ones that are trying to keep the frickin' love in the world. As everybody runs around, you know, love, blah, 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 as you just dropping F-bombs and being as nasty as you can be out there. Don't think that I can't be a bitch and I can't get pissed off, because you're damn right I can't. When it's time to fight and it's time to freaking throw down for what's right in the world, you will see me on the front lines for that, okay? But for as it stands right now, when I got here, I didn't understand it. I would see all this nonsense arguing and fighting, and it's like, what are you guys doing? Are you in freaking first grade? I mean, really? It's like, dude, grow up, you know? Know the power that's in you, that's been tapped, that's been stolen, that's been taken from you. You freaking have God in you. You see what I'm saying? That's what's been tried to be taken from you. That's what Jesus Christ tried to give back to you. That's what he walked. Now, let's throw that out entirely and let's just go based on what Cece believes, okay? And this isn't for you necessarily at all. I don't want you to take what I believe and digest it and take it as your own. Believe your own thing. Walk in your own way. I'm here to support that and rise that up in you and say you have the Spirit in you, and so therefore if you do, right, does that therefore we don't just act like pieces of crap. Come here to make sacrifices of ourselves, not to give to those that are trying to tear the world down, that want genocide. Okay? That want only the wealthy and the rich to have it. That think we're all peons down here and nobody's. Do you know what I'm just going through right now in my own life? See, that's the thing. It's like, I think people look at it like, oh, what does she know, you know? It's like, dude, I have freaking gone through hell in my life. Like, real hell. I'm not saying that none of you haven't either. Because in my opinion, I think everybody has walked through their fair share of hell in this realm, in this life. I don't know why. But I know that there's very important divine lessons to be learned in this realm, in this world. And there's something real to be said about rising up out of it and being released from slavery. Why is it the narrow way? Because it's in you and it's the way out. It's not being judgmental. It's not, it's discerning, but you're not going around pointing at everybody trying to drag the world down, because that's the control that they have on you right now that you don't see. See, that's something I see clear as day that goes on all the time, is how people are being used to fight each other. While they laugh. Oh, look at them. Look at the idiots. Look at the idiots. Look at the idiots. And we're just playing them like little remote controls, Yeah, I can show you right in the design of everything how this is where it's all at. You push a move, you push play. That's you. Play. Play. I'm playing you. How do you not get played? It's by knowing you're better than that. I'm better than that. I've had to fight it freaking hard. Name something. Name a sin. Name a fail. Name it. And I will say I have probably done it and had to crawl out of it. And I got myself to such a point of life being so broken down on me, so beaten down on me, so freaking broken, you guys. I had demons freaking barking down my door. Nightmares every night, crawling out of it. You get yourself to a point like that, most people, and I'll tell you what, you will call out to God, and the real God will show up. Not the one that's tried to keep you under his thumb in this world. It is a war. It is a war. You're damn right it is. And good is going to overcome it. And I don't care if I die in the process of that, because I live on. My spirit lives on. They can't steal that from you, and they can't steal that from me unless you let them, unless you give it away.
But what I'm saying, actually, you see, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, here it is the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. Not, if you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both. When I look around, I always learn something, and that is to be always yourself, and to express yourself, to have faith in yourself. Do not go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate him.